Yes. Hey, welcome back to this impromptu session. The title says it all. I'm going to use data analytics to kind of calm my mind down a little bit. The data is, that's all I'm going to say about that. My data tonight has to do with BMW automobiles, and we're going to use Python, Pandas, Seaborn to analyze data from the Kaggle. Okay? So we're going to come over here. First of all, we're going to open up a terminal. And of course, we'll also be using ChatGPT along the way, okay? Come here, there, okay. And and there's our data. I'll just take a quick look at our data, of course, using the good old so we got model year, price, transmission, mileage, fuel type, tax, MPG, and energy size. Okay. So since we are using UV to manage our Python project, to load a fire up a library to UV, run Jupyter Lab. And of course, we can also use this same web browser session to go to ChatGPT. But we'll see what we can do without doing nothing more than the. Well, I hope you enjoyed the humor in the title for this video. By the way. Notebook. You can ignore the import dot. This is what gives us the PLT extensions, okay? All right, so let's load that. And as always, be sure to stop by the chat session, offer me a few kind words. I'll just mention again that what we're using here is the Anti-X, the latest stable version of Anti-X, and that is running on an Oracle virtual machine, 16 gigabytes of RAMs and 4 processors, and a few gigabytes of megabytes of display of video memory, I guess you might say. So let's do this. BMW. Okay, let's go to ChatGPT right off the bat. Hopefully we're logged in. Log in. Continue with phone. This could be fun. Let's continue with phone. I don't know what OpenAI's password is. That's still true. Yes, it does exist. No, I already have an account. Log in. So that's not good. I have no idea. Maybe I do know what it is. Let's see. No. Oh, man, what's my password, Dave? Let's log them into Google. I suppose one of these days I should try to give okay, let's try Gemini. So let's not even log in here. That may be part of You know what? It would be just as easy to come over here like this. Okay, open the data over here. That's interesting. Let's minimize this. Minimize this. Come over here. And you know what let's do? Let's just manually clean the column headings. Let's do this. Let's just come over here. You know, it'd been nice to use some fancy you know, of course in R we would just use the janitor package, right? And I know there's a way to do it in Python. I just don't feel like, you know. Okay, there. This is a small package. There's no worth beating yourself up trying to figure out what's going on. So we come over here, then BMW equals PD dot underscore CSV, right? So there's that. Let's try doing a summary. Is there actually a summary function? I remember now. Let's try describe. Okay, good. Now, what can we do here? Let's change this to just a head. Okay, now we got categorical variables over here, right? Categorical here. Year, diesel, mileage. So we can do we can do a histogram, say, on mileage, on tax, on year, on engine size. Let's start with something simple. Dot. Oh, hey! Hey, thanks, Peppy, for stopping by, my friend. Yeah, this is my therapy session. I had a kind of rough days and just kind of unwinding, doing a little very simple data analytics, no fancy code, okay? Now I'm just saying that, for instance, we got some prices, numeric variable, year, series, series 5, mileage, fuel type, tax, and so forth. So we could do some. So tell me, Peppy, what part of the world are you in? So we could do say you know, a histogram on price, a histogram on mileage, a histogram on any one of these things here. Let's do hist, comma, x equals. Again, this is U of A. Oh, you're in the U.S. of A. What part of America are you located in, my friend? equals. So let's see if this works. How's that? So here's a histogram of price, okay? Now, and our objective is to use the minimum amount of code as we can, okay? So let's start up here with what we did. So we did price, right? Let's do mileage. Connecticut, I live in central Ohio. I live outside of Columbus, Ohio. So I guess I'm not the only one that has nothing to do on a Friday night, right? So let's do a histogram of mileage. So most of these cars here, must be newer models. Interesting. But you can see, you know what, let's do a box plot. Now we got and as we suspected from up here, at the tail to the right, we got some outliers over there, right? And let's put one in above there. So I think the point I always make here is that you don't necessarily need a lot of coding knowledge to interpret some of this code here, okay? To get some meaningful numbers out. So again, you can see most of the prices are around. Now I'm not sure, but I believe these may be euros. Not quite sure. Yeah, because some of this mileage looks pretty high here to me. Okay, so we got mileage, we got price, distribution of price, we got pot stop, we got distribution of mileage. Let's look at MPG. I know the answer is has to do with pie plot, right? I think there's actually an easier way to do that. Let's do this. Let's actually give it the code, okay? So we'll come over here. And we'll say AX equals by price, right? Let's do the same thing up here. I think we can come up here and do something funky like this, right? So tell me, my friend, are you actually in the data field yourself, or are you a student? Let's not worry about this. There we go. Distribution of vehicle by price. Price. Distribution of vehicle by mileage. You know, this data, by the way, comes from Kaggle. Okay. So I'm sorry, what is XAI? Is it generative AI? That's a wild guess on my part, but explainable AI. Okay, now what is explainable AI? I'm not sure what that is. So we got mileage, tax. Let's do MPG. Let's just do a you see, it's very easy when you're doing this type of categorical data and stuff to just reuse your code. Okay, so come back up here then. Distribution of APG. We did MPG? No. All right. So here's a distribution. Well, this is a pretty doggone narrow thing. So you can see these are obvious. These have to be kilograms per kilograms per liter or something like. I don't think BMWs are getting 75 miles to the gallon. That's just my opinion. Let's do something a little funky here. Let's just check this first. Okay. Now let's do something a little funky here. Let's use what's called a hue function. And let's do it by transmission. So we're going to try to get a separate, let's see, from what I remember, it's using stuff like shape and line to help the user understand the data that is being presented. I did something similar to this, but it had something to do with stock info. Okay. So are you still a student, or are you actually employed in the field, a related field? So we're going to try to create a separate box plot for each of the transmission types. And there we go. There's this nice little box plot. Okay. So what was your degree actually in? Yeah, I'm guessing these are kilometers per hour or miles per gallon. Okay. Are you getting any interest in your resume? Are you on like all the job sites, Monster.com, Indeed, uh, uh, LinkedIn, and stuff like that? Hmm. Yeah. Are you getting any interest in your resume at all? I'm guessing this is liters per kilometers. I can't spell liters. You're right. We're keeping it on. We're keeping it online just in case. I myself, I'm actually retired. I'm 70 years old. I'm actually retired. I do data analytics for a hobby. How to convert liters per hour to miles per gallon. how do I convert liters per kilogram? How how do I convert liters? How is car mileage measured in Europe? In Python, how do I convert the metric to miles per gallon? Well, that's too complicated. Do you have a YouTube channel? Let's look at it. Let's look at the distribution by engine size, okay? Well, I've been like I said, I'm a complete amateur. Okay, I do this as a hobby. You find it maybe hard to do, but I actually do data analytics for fun. I'm retired. I've been doing data analytics probably since about the start of COVID, I'm thinking. So that's what, 2021, I guess. Maybe a little earlier than that. I'm not really sure anymore. It's all kind of a blur. Yeah, so I make YouTube videos for fun. I certainly don't make a lot of money off of YouTube, so it's got to be for fun, right? So this, that's all that matters right now, yeah. Have you thought about starting a YouTube channel? Doing data analytics like I am. So as you can see here, the largest distribution of engine size is the automatic. It goes from, I'm presuming these are liters, okay. The manual is actually, it's kind of interesting. Well, so what you do, you make your channel about you learning data analytics, okay. Your whole channel is about your journey of learning how to do data analytics. You learn how to do Python, learn how to do R, make videos about as you learn about, hey, you show people how to learn data analytics. Don't worry about it. Just like I say, it's a good therapy, and it gives you a reason. It gives you a way to actually use your skills and keep them current. That's really what it's about. So this is sort of interesting. This is engine size. You got some crazy outliers there. Holy, we got like a 7-liter engine up here in the automatic range. Interesting enough, the manual range goes from 0, which makes no sense, up to about 4 liters. The semi-automatic. So let's try this. What happens if we take this plot here and we change this to a his plot, okay? That's not very exciting. It's mildly interesting, but that's not very exciting. Hmm. So is anybody actually watching besides you? 13 views, two concurrent views. Okay, guys, if you're in the background there, stop by and join Peppy and me. So, what plot would you like to see next? I'm trying to think of a scatter plot. There's a party in here. Yeah, it is. We're having a party. So here's the question. Here's an interest. Let's see if we can do this. Can we do mileage by year, or MPG, engine size? Let's do MPG like I say, this probably isn't. This is probably European, so it's good. Let's see. So let's see if the mileage has changed. Let's try this. I mean, we would hope That's kind of interesting. Not sure if it's useful, but it's kind of interesting. Let's change this to a hist plot. Now, here's the point. At this point, we haven't actually written any code. Okay, we haven't written any code. All we're doing is using seaborne plots to analyze data, and we got some good data here. That's not very helpful. Well, by the way, be sure if you click that bell icon to be notified whenever I go live. I'm also trying to do a live stream Monday through Friday about sometime between 4 and 6 p.m. Of course, if you haven't done so already, be sure to click that subscribe button for me. Fuel types. Let's look at mileage instead by fuel type. Because we only have well, this is kind of interesting. Not quite sure what it means. This is pretty neat, isn't it? Okay, so how can I take this? No, let's not do anything crazy. So let's do this. Now, obviously, the problem is we've got all these things here. So let's make this a box plot. Hmm. Hmm. No, 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 no. We, stop, Dave, stop. By what? By transmission type. Is that right? Or did we already do that? No, no. MPG fuel type. You may have already done that. Let's do. That'd be nicer if we, first of all, we didn't have so many rows. Uh, I tell you, my friend, I'm going to bring this session to a close. I'm going to try to give ChatGPT something to look at. I'm going to bring this session to a close. And again, thanks so much for your time, Pepe. Good luck with that job description, and give some thought to creating a YouTube channel. And all you do is you just record your learning. You just make, as you learn, your followers learn along with you. Okay, don't be bashful to start with something simple like this here. This is a very simple example of data analytics, and that as yet I haven't written a single line of code. All right. So anyway, thanks so much, Pepe. Good luck with the job. Hey, be sure to click that bell icon and jump on the stream anytime you're in the neighborhood, okay?